A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer greatly from the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. Then Peter took Jesus aside and began to rebuke him. God forbid, Lord! No such thing shall ever happen to you. He turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are an obstacle to me. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do. Then Jesus said to his disciples, Whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. What profit would there be for one to gain the whole world and forfeit his life? Or what one can give in exchange for his life? For the Son of Man will come with his angels in his Father's glory, and then he will repay all according to his conduct. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Lord Jesus Christ.
In today's Gospel, we heard Jesus telling his disciples about something that they may not have wanted to hear. But how do we listen and respond to something that will surely hurt us? Take up your cross. The focus is on suffering. I'm in doubt. It's hard for me to believe that God protects after being diagnosed with PTSD. I still see flashbacks of those stressful events, and these shattered my sense of security. I feel helpless. I feel like I'm in a dangerous world. It's hard for me to believe that God heals after hearing a call being COVID-19 positive. Another cross for me. How could I see a beautiful plan after being transferred to another place away from my family? I still couldn't move on when the doctor said that my tatay had only about 2 years to live. But he didn't bother thinking about that. Despite his sickness, he still cared for me. He kept on reminding me not to feel sad, to eat and sleep well, to take care of myself. Everyone in the family waited for me. Tatay waited for me. We talked about his birthday, his thoughts, his plans, that the best gift I could give is to go home. Then I recovered. Yes, I recovered. But how would I feel God's healing hands when another cross, the heaviest cross for me I guess, was offered before me? I knew Tatay waited for me. But when I saw him, he was already in the coffin. He waited for me until his last breath, and it felt like I failed. I was deprived of being with him until his last remaining days. Pag-uwi ko lang yung hiling niya, pero hindi ko pa nagawa. Hindi na niya ako nahintay. But I think waiting for me was that painful for him already, so he had to let it go. Depressed, experiencing COVID-19 and losing my father all at once. Everything feels so heavy. I feel like somehow I'm Peter. I do not agree that someone should suffer and die. But Jesus said, we should conform to God's plan, and suffering is a part of it. We cannot be true followers of Christ if we are not willing to undergo suffering. But how do I take up my cross? I think the answer is this. Zoom out. I should see more. I should see a bigger picture. I should stop seeing only what is in front of me. Why would I doubt Jesus when he was the same Jesus who turned water into wine? Why would I doubt Jesus when he was the same Jesus who multiplied loaves and fish? He calmed the sea and he made the blind see. I have to zoom out and believe. God has done great things for me before. He will do it again. What I experience right now is something difficult to bear, but it's the cost of discipleship. I have to endure. I have to see the bigger picture because it will let me realize that everything is still according to God's plan. Let not the worries and pain of today make you forget the glories of yesterday. Take up your cross. Thank you and have a good day.